Hello, my dear friend. Welcome to Midnight Harbor, the little island of quiet in the vast ocean of the night. It's just you and me here, sharing this space, this silence. Outside, the world might still be rushing, but in here, we allow ourselves to slow down. Can you feel it? The gentle release in your shoulders, the slowing of your breath. Just be here in this moment. Tonight, I want to talk about a feeling so common yet so deeply personal. It's a quiet ache, a silent question that hums beneath the surface of our busy days. It's the feeling of being lost. Have you ever stood in a crowded room, surrounded by laughter and conversation, yet felt utterly alone? As if you were encased in a bubble of glass, watching the world move on without you. Or perhaps you've woken up in the morning, the sun streaming through your window, a new day dawning, and the first thought that greets you is not one of excitement, but a hollow echo. What now? This feeling of being directionless. It isn't loud or dramatic. It's often a fog that rolls in slowly, almost imperceptibly. At first, it's just a wisp of doubt. You finish a big project, you reach a milestone graduating, starting a new job, ending a chapter of your life, and you expect to feel joy, or at least relief. But instead, there's a strange emptiness. The cheering fades, and in the silence that follows, you're left standing on a shore, watching the ship of your last purpose sail away over the horizon. And you're left with no map, no compass, just the vast, intimidating expanse of the sea ahead. You look at others, and it seems like they all have their maps. They talk about their 5-year plans, their passions, their next big move. Their lives seem to be a series of well-defined destinations, all plotted out. They are heading north, and you don't even know which way north is. The compass inside you just spins and spins, its needle trembling with uncertainty. You try to ask for directions, but the language of their certainty feels foreign to you. Just follow your passion, they say. But what if you don't know what your passion is? What if your heart speaks in whispers so faint you can't distinguish them from the wind? This feeling of being lost is not a sign of weakness. Let me say that again so it can truly sink into the deepest parts of you. Feeling lost is not a failure. It is not a flaw in your character. It is a human experience. It is the soul's quiet way of saying, the old map doesn't work anymore. The old paths have led you here, but they cannot take you where you need to go next. Think of it like being a traveler in a dense, ancient forest. For a while, you were on a clear path. The markers were visible, the destination seemed certain, but then the path faded. The trees grew thicker, the light grew dimmer, and now every direction looks the same. It's frightening. The instinct is to panic, to run wildly in any direction just for the sake of moving. We tell ourselves that standing still is the worst possible thing to do. We must do something. We must find the path, but what if just for tonight we gave ourselves permission to stop, to sit down at the base of a large, ancient tree, to lean back against its steady trunk and just to be lost, to accept the fog for what it is, a temporary state, not a permanent reality, to listen to the sounds of the forest, the rustle of leaves, the distant call of a night bird, the gentle rhythm of your own breathing dot in this quiet space. We can begin to acknowledge the weight we've been carrying, the weight of expectation from our families, our society, and most heavily from ourselves. The expectation that we should have it all figured out, that our life should be a straight, ascending line of achievements. But life is not a line. It is a landscape with mountains to climb, yes, but also with quiet valleys to rest in, and with dense, mysterious forests to get lost in. And each part of that landscape has its own purpose, its own beauty. Tonight, you don't need to find it. Wait, you don't need a map. All you need is to be present with the feeling. Let's not fight it. Let's not run from it. Let's just sit with it here in the gentle dark. Acknowledge its presence. Nod to it as you would to a fellow traveler on a lonely road. I see you, we can say to this feeling. I feel you, and for tonight you can rest here with me. As you lie there, feel the solidness of the bed beneath you. It is holding you. You are safe. The fog is all around, yes, but it cannot harm you. It is just weather, and all weather eventually passes. The sun, even if you cannot see it, is still there. The stars are still shining above the clouds. Your path is still there, waiting for you to find it when the time is right. But the first step is not a step forward. It is a step inward. It is the profound act of standing still. Breathe in and breathe out. Let the echo of emptiness be filled, just for a moment, with the sound of your own quiet breath. You are here, and that is enough. Welcome back. You are still here, resting in this quiet harbor we've created for the night. In our last moment together, we gave ourselves a rare gift. The permission to be still, the permission to simply be lost, without panic, without judgment. We decided to sit with the fog, to feel its cool, damp presence, and to trust that we are safe within it. Now, as we continue to rest here, against the sturdy trunk of our imaginary tree, let's gently, ever so gently, turn our gaze toward them. Roots of this feeling. Why do we feel this way? Where does this heavy sense of directionlessness come from? This is not an investigation. It is not an interrogation of the soul. Think of it more like archaeology, a gentle dusting away of layers to understand the shape of what lies beneath. We are not here to place blame, only to understand. And in understanding, we find a new kind of freedom. This feeling of being lost is often born from the noise of the world. From the moment we are young, we are handed maps. Not one map, but 1,000 of them, all laid on top of each other. A map from our loving parents, who wish for our safety and success, plotting a course they believe is best. A map from our teachers, who show us the paths of knowledge and career. And then there is the giant, overwhelming map of society itself. This map is drawn with bold, thick lines, marking the grand highways of success, wealth, and achievement. The destinations are all clearly labeled. A prestigious job by 25, marriage by 30, a house, a car, a perfect family. We are told this is the map, the one true guide. And for a time, we try to follow it. We put one foot in front of the other, trying to stay on the prescribed roads. But what if our heart longs for the little unmarked footpaths that wing through the hills? What if our spirit feels called to climb a mountain that isn't on the map at all? The world's map has no room for detours, for wandering, for the sacred act of getting lost and finding something unexpected. When we deviate, the world's voice, a cacophony, shoulds and supposed tos, grows louder. You're going the wrong way. It shouts, you're falling behind. And in this modern age, that voice has found a new powerful amplifier. The glowing screen in our hands. We scroll through an endless gallery of other people's destinations. We see their polished summits, their celebratory photos taken at the finish line. We see the curated highlight reels of their journeys, but we never see the stumbles, the doubts, the moments they too felt lost in the woods. We compare our messy, confusing, unedited journey with their perfectly presented final chapters. And in that comparison, a seed of inadequacy is planted. Our own quiet progress feels like failure. Our own unique path feels like a dead end. We look at their maps, so clear and bright, and we look at our own blank page, and we feel a profound sense of shame. We start to believe that the fault lies within us, that we are the one who is broken, incapable of reading the signs, but the weight doesn't only come from the outside. Often, the heaviest maps are the ones we draw for ourselves. They are drawn with the ink of our own expectations, often far stricter and less forgiving than anyone else's. Do you recognize that voice? Inside your own head, the inner critic. It's the one that sounds suspiciously like reason, but is fueled by fear. It's the voice that whispers, it's too late to start over. You're not talented enough. If you choose this path, you might fail, and wouldn't it be better not to try at all? This inner critic holds up a map of the perfect life, a life with no mistakes, no regrets, and it measures our every move against this impossible standard. This fear of making the wrong choice can be utterly paralyzing. We stand at a crossroads with paths leading off in every direction. One path might lead to stability, another to adventure. One might be creative, another more practical. The pressure to choose the single right path is immense. We believe that choosing one means saying goodbye to all the others forever. And so, terrified of closing a door, we choose to camp at the intersection, going nowhere. This inaction, born of fear, slowly solidifies into the very state we were trying to avoid. The state of being stuck, of being lost, not because we are moving in the wrong direction, but because we are not moving at all. Sometimes we are lost. For another, more tender reason, we are lost because the person we used to be has gone, and we haven't yet met the person we are becoming. The dreams you held at 18 may no longer fit the person you are at 28, or 38, or 58. The identity that once defined you, the student, the athlete, the young professional, one half of a couple may have dissolved, and now you stand in the space between identities. It feels like emptiness, but it is actually a space of profound potential. It is the fallow field resting before the next season of planting. It is the caterpillar's chrysalis. There is a quiet, necessary, and often painful process of transformation happening within you. To be lost in this sense is to be in the midst of becoming dark. So you see, my friend, this feeling is not a simple thing. It is a complex tapestry woven from threads of external pressure, internal fear, and the natural evolution of your own soul. It is the weight of 1,000 different maps, none of which were truly drawn for the unique territory of your dot as you lie here. Let this understanding be alone. You are not broken, you are not failing. You are carrying a heavy load, one that has been placed upon you, and one that you have placed upon yourself. Seeing it, recognizing it, understanding its origins. This is the first step in the sighting, to gently set it down. You don't have to carry it all anymore. Breathe in that knowing. And as you breathe out, imagine yourself setting down one of those heavy, ill-fitting maps. Just for tonight. You can always pick it up again tomorrow if you wish. But for now, Feel the lightness that comes from releasing even a small part of that weight. The ground beneath you is still solid. You are still you, just a little lighter, a little freer. Welcome back to our shared stillness. We've acknowledged the fog of being lost, and we've gently explored its roots, seeing the weight of the 1,000 maps we've been forced to carry. And now, perhaps, a part of you is stirring. The mind, that tireless problem solver, might be whispering, okay, I get it. So what's the plan? What's the solution? How do I draw a new map? What is the first step? This urge to act is so deeply ingrained in us. We are taught that progress is movement, that solutions require effort, that to be still is to be stagnant, to fall further behind. The world screams at us to hustle, to grind, to optimize every waking moment. And so the idea of doing nothing feels like a failure in itself. It feels counterintuitive, even irresponsible. But tonight, my dear friend, I want to invite you to embrace a different kind of wisdom. A wisdom that is ancient and quiet and profoundly healing. It is the sacred art of the pause. I am not asking you to find an answer tonight. I am asking you to give yourself a gift far more precious. The permission to stop looking for one. Imagine a farmer who has a beautiful, fertile field. Season after season, he plants and he harvests. He works the soil tirelessly. But the wise farmer knows that if he does this forever without rest, the soil will become depleted. It will lose its nutrients, its life force. The crops will become weaker. So what does he do? He declares a fallow season. He lets the field lie empty under the sun and the rain. He does not plant. He does not harvest. He simply lets it be. To an outsider, it might look like he is being lazy, unproductive. But the farmer knows this is the most important work of all. He is allowing the earth to heal, to replenish, to dream of the seeds that will nurture in the future. He is trusting the cycle. This feeling of being lost, this sense of directionlessness. This is your soul's fallow season. You have been working so hard for so long, trying to grow what was expected of you, trying to follow all the maps, and now your inner soil is tired. It needs to rest. This emptiness you feel is not a void. It is an open space. It is holy ground. It is the quiet, fertile darkness from which all new life springs. You are not failing. You are renewing. You are not stagnant. You are gathering strength deep beneath the surface where no one can see it. Let's practice this pause right here, right now, together. As you lie in the comfort of your bed, can you gently close your eyes if you haven't already? Let go of any need to see or understand. Just feel. Bring your awareness, your gentle attention to the tip of your nose. Feel the air as it enters, slightly cool, and feel it as it leaves, slightly warm. Don't try to change your breathing. Don't force it to be deep or slow. Simply observe it. This breath, this simple, effortless rhythm is your anchor. It is the one thing that is always with you, always in the present moment. Whenever your mind starts to wander back to the maps, back to the worries, just gently, without judgment, guide it back to the sensation of your breath. In and out. This is all that is required of you right now. Don't now. Let that awareness expand. Feel the weight of your body. Feel how the mattress rises to meet you, to support you completely. Notice the points of contact, your head on the pillow, your shoulders against the sheets, the weight of your arms, your hips, your legs. Gravity is holding you. The earth is holding you. You don't have to hold yourself up anymore. Just for these few moments, let go. Surrender your weight. Allow yourself to be completely, utterly supported. There's nowhere to go, nothing to do, no one to be. There's only this moment, this breath, this feeling of being held. Don't think of your mind as a glass of water with sand and dirt swirled inside. When you're feeling lost and anxious, you are constantly shaking that glass, desperate to see through the murky water. You analyze, you worry, you strategize. You spin in circles, shaking the glass, demanding clarity. But, of course, the more you shake it, the cloudier it becomes. The only way for the water to become clear is to do something very simple. Set it down. Be still. Let it rest. And then slowly, grain by grain, the sediment begins to settle. The water doesn't become clear through force, but through stillness. This pause, this act of doing nothing, is you setting down the glass. Clarity about your path will not come from frantic searching. It will arise naturally from the quiet space you create for it. So release the guilt. Release the feeling that you are wasting time. You are not wasting time. You are creating time. You are honoring your body's need for rest and your soul's need for a fallow season. This is an act of profound self-compassion. It is a declaration that your well-being is more important than any external timeline or expectation. You are telling yourself, it's okay. It's okay to not know. It's okay to be tired. It's okay to just be here. The answers you seek are not in the storm of your thoughts. They are in the quiet center that the storm surrounds. By pausing, you are not giving up. You are beginning the journey to that center. You are learning to listen in a new way, not to the loud demands of the world, but to the soft, subtle whispers of your own heart that can only be heard when the silence stops over you. Rest. Be fallow, be still. You are exactly where you need to be. Welcome back, my dear friend. You have been resting here in the sacred space of the pause. Can you feel that? The gentle stillness that you've allowed yourself. The frantic energy has subsided, even just a little. The murky water of the mind, which we spoke of earlier, has begun to clear as the sediment of worry and expectation settles. And in this newfound quiet, something remarkable can happen. We can begin to listen. For so long, the radio of our soul has been tuned to the loudest stations, the booming frequency of society's demands, the static-filled channel of our own inner critic, the constant, overwhelming broadcast of what others are doing. We've been listening to everything and everyone, except the one voice that truly matters, our own. That voice is still there. It has been there all along, but it doesn't shout, it doesn't demand. It whispers. It communicates not in grand pronouncements, but in quiet calls, in subtle feelings, and sparks of curiosity so small we often dismiss them as insignificant. Tonight, now that we have cultivated this quiet, we are going to gently, patiently turn the dial. We are going to try and tune into that forgotten frequency. There is no pressure to hear it perfectly. The goal is simply to remember how the listen ought to begin. Let's take a gentle journey backward in time. Let your mind drift, float, all the way back to your childhood. Before the weight of the maps, before the chorus of shoulds, before you learned what you were supposed to be. Go back to a time when you simply were. Who was that child? What did that child want to do? Not because it was productive or impressive, but purely for the joy of it. Did you spend hours in the garden, lost in the miniature world of insects and Did you fill notebooks with fantastical drawings, with stories of other worlds? Did you build elaborate cities out of blocks or blankets, creating your own rules, your own universe? Did you love to take things apart just to see how they worked? Did you sing at the top of your lungs when you thought no one was listening? Don't analyze these memories. Don't try to turn them into a career plan. Just invite the feeling of that memory back into your body. Remember the absorption, the focus, the way time seemed to disappear. That feeling, that state of effortless flow, is a clue. It's a message from your most authentic self, a breadcrumb leading you back to the essence of who you are. What you left then, in its purest form, often holds a key to what your soul still craves now. It's a whisper from your past, reminding you of your own unique language of joy. Now, let your awareness float gently back to the present moment, here in your bed, in the quiet of the night. Let's put aside the big, heavy word, passion. That word can feel like a mountain when you're too tired to climb. Instead, let's use a much softer, gentler word, curiosity. Think of your life as a large, quiet house. Curiosity is not a booming announcement in the main hall. It's a little thread of light under a closed door in a room you haven't entered for years. Our only job is to notice that thread of light. What are you quietly curious about? If you were to walk into a vast library or bookstore with no agenda, which section would you find yourself drifting towards? History, poetry, science, how-to guides on gardening or woodworking? What kind of videos do you watch when you're just relaxing? The ones that you don't tell anyone about? What topics make you want to learn just a little bit more? Again, these are not life commitments. They're simply whispers. A whisper might be, I've always wondered what it would be like to paint with watercolors. Or, I miss the feeling of being in nature. Or, that article about ancient stars was fascinating. Pay attention to these small pulls. They are the first signs that your inner compass is beginning to stir, its needle trembling as it starts to seek its own true north. Don't judge them. Don't dismiss them as silly or impractical. Just notice them, acknowledge them, write them down tomorrow perhaps. Treat them like precious clues in a wonderful mystery, the mystery of you. And there's another way to listen. Your body, my friend, is an incredibly wise counselor. It holds a truth that your busy mind often overlooks. Your body is always speaking to you. As you think about different ideas, different possibilities for your life, notice how your body responds to think about a path that someone else wants for you, or one that you feel you should want. Now, where do you feel that in your body? Is there a tightness in your jaw, a clenching in your stomach, a slight heaviness in your shoulders? That is the body's quiet no. It is a signal of resistance, of misalignment. Now think about one of those small sparks of curiosity we just mentioned. Imagine giving yourself an hour next weekend to explore it. As you imagine this, what happens in your body? Is there a subtle release in your chest? A feeling of lightness, of expansion? However small, a little warmth? That is the body's gentle yes. It is a sign of alignment, of resonance. Learning to listen to this synchronous language. At first, the signals are faint, but the more you pay attention, the louder and clearer. They become dots so you see finding your way is not about a sudden dramatic revelation. It is a slow, tender process of reacquaintance with yourself. It is about creating enough silence to finally hear the whispers that have been there all along. The whisper of your childhood joy, the whisper of your quiet curiosities, the whisper of your body's wisdom. You don't need to have the answer tonight. You don't need the full song. All you have to do is listen for a single note. Trust that it is there, and trust that you are finally becoming quiet enough to hear it. Welcome back, my friend. Here in the deep, quiet cradle of the night, we have been listening. We have leaned in close to hear the faint, beautiful whispers of our own soul, the echoes of childhood joy, the sparks of quiet curiosity, the wisdom of our own body. This listening is a profound act of homecoming. It is the beginning of a new relationship with yourself, one built on tenderness and attention. But a relationship needs more than just listening. It needs response. It needs trust. And trust is built through action. A whisper that is heard but never acknowledged will eventually fade back into the silence. To keep this delicate, precious line of communication open, to tell your inner self, I hear you and you matter, we must honor what we've heard. We do this not with a grand, sweeping gesture that overwhelms us, but with the quiet courage of a single small step. I know what the mind wants. The mind wants a 5-year plan. It wants a detailed, color-coded map with the destination clearly marked. It wants certainty. But it is this very demand for a perfect, complete map that keeps youth frozen, standing paralyzed at the crossroads. We are so afraid of taking the wrong big step that we end up taking no step at all. So tonight, we are going to let go of the map entirely. We are going to forget the destination. We are going to forget the entire journey. We will bring our focus down to just one thing, the ground immediately at our feet. And we are going to contemplate taking a step so small, so tiny, so utterly non-threatening that the fear and the inner critic inside us barely even notice we have moved. What could this tiny step be? Let it be an extension of the whisper you heard. If you remember the pure joy of drawing as a child, the step is not, I will become an artist. That is a mountain. The step is, tomorrow I will find a piece of paper and a pen, and I will draw a single circle. That's it. That is the entire task. If you felt a gentle pull towards nature, the step is not, I must go hiking every weekend. The step is, tomorrow I will go outside for 5 minutes without my phone, and I will simply look at one tree. I will notice the texture of its bark, the shape of its leaves, the way the light filters through its branches. 5 minutes, one tree. If a flicker of curiosity about a new subject caught your attention, the step is not, I need to enroll in a course and get a degree. It is, I will watch one 10-minute video on that subject, or I will borrow one book from the library about it. Not even to read the whole book, just to bring it home, just to have it near. Do you feel the lightness in this, the grace? We are lowering the bar so much that it is almost impossible to fail. We are making the act of beginning so easy, so gentle, that it feels less like a chore and more like a quiet indulgence, a secret kindness to ourselves. And here's the most beautiful and liberating secret of all. The outcome of this tiny step does not matter. I will say that again, so your heart can truly hear. The outcome does not matter. The circle you draw might be wobbly. Your 5 minutes with the tree might feel uneventful. The video you watch might not lead to a new career path. It is all completely, wonderfully irrelevant. The victory is not in the result. The victory, the success, the entire purpose of the exercise is in the taking of the step itself. In that single, small act you have done something miraculous. You have closed the gap between your inner world and your outer world. You have built a tiny golden bridge of trust with yourself. You have sent a clear message back to your soul that says, I am listening, I hear you. Your voice is important to me, and I will honor it. We have this backwards idea that we need to feel inspired and clear before we take action. But for most of us, especially when we're lost, clarity does not precede action. Clarity follows action. The path is not something we find fully formed, stretching out before us in the fog. The path is made by walking. You take one small, hesitant step in a direction that feels a little bit right. And in taking that step, the fog clears, just enough for you to see where to place your foot for the next step. And then the next, a path emerges from this slow, steady, responsive dance. It is how all great journeys have ever been undertaken. Not with a giant leap into the unknown, but with a single courageous step, followed by another and another dot. So as you drift deeper now, towards the shores of sleep, allow a tiny step to gently form in your mind. What is one small, easy, loving thing you can do for yourself tomorrow or the next day to honor a whisper you've heard? Let it be a promise, not a heavy obligation, but a light, joyful promise, a secret adventure for just you. This is how we begin to find our way, not by running frantically towards a distant light, but by having the courage to light one small candle right where we stand. To VG, Kailath and Kulikam Trong Kwok, Han Translation Kenne. Haijin Jai Li Noi Si He, Tek Ban and Ti by Hatwu, Kiep and Bao, Kik Eden, Eden, Monmixi, Jijisi, Amichis, Turkman, Amin, Trong Turko, Na An Trang Bisay, Tran, and Teen Manchis Ten Long, Nasin Tit Tai Se, Nan Non Chow Han Ha. Part 6, The Journey is the Home. Jing Noi Turknon Veen Kam Chumrari Turkian Bidu Dang Jianwa Antony Thathan Jian. And so we are here at the quiet edge of sleep at the final station of our shared journey tonight. You have traveled so far, not in distance but in depth. You have had the courage to sit with the echo of emptiness. You have gently touched the roots of your own feeling of being lost. You have given yourself the sacred healing gift of a pause. You have leaned in to listen for the whispers of your own heart. And you have found within you the quiet strength for a single small loving step. This is it. This is the entire secret. There's no other magic formula, no other hidden map. The path you have been seeking is the very one you have just walked with me tonight. To acknowledge with honesty, to rest with courage, to listen with openness, and to act with gentleness. This is a cycle you can return to, a safe harbor you can find. Anytime the fog begins to roll in, we began this conversation with the painful feeling of meeting a destination. A finish line where we would finally feel that we have arrived. But perhaps the greatest wisdom we can offer ourselves, the most profound peace we can find, is in letting go of our idea of completeness. Perhaps the journey itself is the home. Life is not a mountain to be conquered, after which we can rest. Life is an ocean. There are times of bright sun on calm waters, where the way forward is clear and filled with light. There are times of playful waves and strong winds, full of energy and purpose. And there are times of thick fog where the horizon disappears, where the water and sky become one, where we feel adrift and unsure. This feeling of being lost is simply the It is a natural weather pattern of the soul. It is not a punishment. It is not a sign that you have failed. It is an invitation to drop the anchor, to turn off the loud engine of striving, and to simply float. It is an invitation to trust that the currents are still moving, that the stars are still there above the fog, and that your internal compass, now that you've learned to listen to it, is still pointing the way. The fog will lift. It always does. Your small steps, taken with love, will lead you to a clearing. You will find a path for a while, and it will feel good and right. But life is long, and you are a being of constant growth and change. And so, in another season of your life, the fog may roll in again. A chapter will end. You will outgrow a dream that once fit you perfectly, and you will feel that familiar sense of being adrift. But next time, you will not meet it with panic. You will greet it as a familiar, if challenging, friend. You will know its name, and you will know what it is asking of you. You will know that it is time to pause. It is time to rest. It is time to listen. You have been here before. You know, the way through, and the way through is always in. You are no longer helpless in the face of the unknown. You are a seasoned traveler, learning to dance with uncertainty, doubt, and on this beautiful, unpredictable, lifelong journey. You have one companion that will never leave you, one tool that will never break. It is not a map. It is not a plan. It is your own deep, abiding, unconditional compassion for yourself. When you feel lost, the answer is not to be harder on yourself. The answer is to be softer. When you feel afraid, wrap yourself in the warmth of your own kindness. When you take a small step and stumble, treat yourself with the same gentle encouragement you would offer a small child learning to walk. This self-compassion is the true light. It is the steady flame you carry within you, a candle that no fall can ever truly extinguish dot and now, my dear friend. It is time to let it all go. Let go of this conversation. Let go of the need to figure anything out. Let my words become part of the background music, part of the silence. All that's left to do is rest. Feel the gentle weight of your blankets, a comforting pressure that says, you are safe. Feel the softness of your pillow, cradling your head, inviting you to release all the thoughts of the day. Let your body grow heavy and sink into the mattress, held completely. Let your breath be your final lullaby. A slow, easy rhythm, in and out. You are exactly where you need to be. In this bed, in this night, on your own perfect, unique, and beautiful path. Even when you cannot see it, the answers will come in their own time. The sun will rise in its own time. Your only work now is to rest, don't sleep now. Drift peacefully into the deep, healing waters of your dreams. Dream on.